Let's talk about the summer of 2025. Because in the world of artificial intelligence, things didn't just move forward, they absolutely exploded. And right at the heart of that chaos were two titans, GPT-5 and Claude 4, going head-to-head in a showdown that would really define the future of how we all build software.
And when I say exploded, I mean it. To give you some perspective, we're talking about a period where over 50 new AI models dropped in just 3 weeks. It was this insane period of acceleration with huge news breaking pretty much every single day. But there was one week in particular that changed everything. Just look at this. On August 5th, OpenAI completely shocks the community by dropping its first open source model in years. On the exact same day, Anthropic launches the incredibly smart Claude Opus 4.1. Then hold on, because just 2 days later, OpenAI rolls out the main event, GPT-5. And boom, just like that, the stage was set for a massive rivalry.
All right, so how do they actually stack up against each other? Round one is all about raw performance. We're talking about which one is actually better at the job, at writing and fixing code in the wild. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because there's some nuance here. On the SWE bench, which is a test that throws real, messy GitHub issues at these AIs, GPT-5 squeaks by with a small lead over Claude's base model. But, and this is a huge but, when you switch on Claude's specialized reasoning mode, its Sonnet model just leaps ahead to over 80%. So it's not just about raw power, it's about how you use it. However, GPT-5 has an ace up its sleeve. It's a master of languages. It just crushes the ADER polyglot benchmark. For any full-stack developer out there who's constantly jumping between JavaScript and Python and C++, you know the drill. GPT-5 is the clear choice for that kind of work. Okay, so performance? It's a super close race, a real nail-biter. But when we look at the price tag, whoa, it's not even in the same ballpark. This is where the story gets really dramatic. So just take a look at these numbers. They're the cost for every million tokens. You can just think of tokens as little pieces of words. Input is what you pay to ask the question, and output is what you pay for the answer. And you can see right away, GPT-5 is just ridiculously affordable. Claude 4 Opus, on the other hand, is clearly a premium, top-shelf product. And to really let that sink in, 12 times. For the same amount of code you send it, Claude 4 Opus is a staggering 12 times more expensive. For any company, any developer who's working at scale, that's not a small difference. That is a massive factor you have to consider. So here's the thing. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, because when you actually get your hands dirty and use these models, you realize they have totally different personalities, different philosophies. It's really like you're choosing between a versatile speedster and a meticulous precision engineer. GPT-5 is the speedster. It's all about speed and versatility. It's amazing at what developers are now calling vibe coding, where you just throw a natural language idea at it and it just goes. It spins up a full application super fast. It's perfect for startups, for rapid prototyping, and with that huge context window, it can handle enormous code bases without breaking a sweat. And then you have Claude 4. This is your precision engineer. It's not about being the fastest, it's about being the most accurate. It can perform these incredibly complex, surgical refactors on your code without adding new bugs. It can work on its own for 7+ hours. And with enterprise-grade ASL3 safety, that's the highest level, it's built for those mission-critical projects you simply cannot afford to get wrong. But, as intense as this rivalry is, it's not happening in a vacuum. To really understand what's going on, you have to zoom out and look at the rest of the neighborhood, the entire AI ecosystem. And a huge piece of that story is the explosion in open source AI. This was a fundamental shift. We're talking about the models themselves, the code, the weights, being made public for anyone to build on and customize. When OpenAI dropped GPT-OS, it was a signal that the game had totally changed. And OpenAI isn't alone. Look at Meta. They've been a massive champion of open source with their Llama models. Llama 4 came out with a 10 million token context window. 10 million. That's just a mind-boggling number that completely reset what we thought was possible for accessible AI. And of course, there's Google. They're carving out their own path with Gemini 2.5. They're not just playing the size or speed game. They're competing on a unique feature they call Deep Think Mode, which is designed specifically to tackle extremely complex reasoning problems. And this race isn't just happening in the US. Over in Europe, you've got Mistral AI, which has become a major player by focusing on something different: cost efficiency and performance. They're creating these incredible models that give you amazing bang for your buck, all while championing the cause of European AI sovereignty.
Okay, so we've got GPT, Claude, Llama, Gemini, Mistral, this whole incredible expanding toolbox. What do you do with all of it? How do you even begin to choose? Let's bring this all home and build your modern AI toolkit. This is it, right? The question on every developer's mind. After everything we've looked at, is there a clear winner? Do you go with Team GPT-5 or Team Cloud 4? But you know what? Maybe that's the wrong question to ask. The real takeaway from the AI explosion of 2025 isn't about finding a single best model. It's about looking at your project and asking a much better question. What do you need to build right now? And this chart here, it's basically your cheat sheet. It makes the choice pretty clear. If you're at a startup, you need to move fast, you're watching every dollar, and you're building a full-stack app, GPT-5 is your workhorse, no question. But if you're at a big company and you need maximum precision to refactor a complex system where safety is everything, well, Claude 4 Opus is the clear choice. It's all about matching the tool to the task. So here's the bottom line. The era of picking just one AI and sticking with it, it's over. The future, for sure, belongs to the developers who don't just pick a side, but who learn to master the entire diverse and powerful AI toolkit. The future is hybrid, and that's the new reality.